Hi, it's Alexis, I'm a relationship counselor, and today in this video we're gonna talk about 3 tips. I'm gonna share with you 3 tips to get back with your ex. If there's one video you should watch today, you should watch this week, you should watch this month, maybe not this year, but this month, it's this one. 3 tips to get an ex back. I'm gonna share some things that you probably haven't heard before. You'll see, it's gonna be great.
IGetMyExBack.com. Everyone deserves a second chance.
First of all, and if you have been a follower of my channel, you know that I'm a no bullshit person. I don't want you to waste your time. I don't want you to waste my time if you call me and you have no chance of getting back with your ex. The thing is, statistically, 40% of people watching this video are wasting their time because they have no future with their ex. Their situation is non-recoverable. And of course, you will always find people to tell you, yes, there's always a way, it's all about neuroscience and you do no contact and she or he will come back. It doesn't always work. It's very important for you to be realistic. And you've been perhaps in your ex's shoes, and perhaps you've done people in the past, and you wouldn't have taken your ex back. So I think before I introduce those 2 things, is really being realistic. Sometimes we lie to ourselves because we're in love. We fail to see that actually this relationship was dead way before the breakup, and we are clingy. We try to rescue something that's already dead. If you don't feel that's your case, continue watching. If you're not sure whether this applies to you, whether you have a chance enough getting back with your ex, I put together a very simple quiz to assess this. The link is in the description, and it will basically give you an idea, whether a score telling you whether you have a chance or not to get back with your ex. Hopefully you're not amongst the 40% who basically realistically don't have any chance getting back with their ex. First thing you need, the first tip, is about, I'm not going to talk about your ex on this video, I'm going to talk about you, and because this is what works. Circle of control, circle of influence, circle of concern. A breakup really transformed the way we see life, really shattered all our, the life, the connection, and our certainty, and how we see life. The thing with breakup is we focus our attention on things that we can't control. We want to get our ex to do things for us. We want to manipulate them, right? It's very important for you to understand this concept of circle of control, circle of influence. Circle of control is whatever you control. Your attitude, your words, what you say, your friends, okay? The circle of influence is what you can influence as a result of your actions. The circle of concern is basically anything you can control. Today, it's raining. I live in London. It rains quite often in November. I can complain about the rain in London. I can be sad because it's raining in London. But I have to accept that when it rains, I can't change it. My reaction, I can choose to be sad, I can choose to be depressed because it's raining, or I can choose to accept that it's raining, that I live in London and it rains a lot, and buy a fucking umbrella. So, your job is to shift from concern to control. The problem with breakup is that the pain that you're going through is similar to a physical pain. There's been studies, and when you look at a brain scan of people after a breakup, and when we show them pictures of their ex, the same area in the brain than physical pain is activated. And that's why sometimes we lose focus. We are constantly obsessed about our ex. We want to unconsciously feel these strong emotions. No wonder you're probably listening to a lot of sad songs, you're watching, you're looking at photo albums with your ex, or looking at their feeds because you want to feel those emotions. So it's very unconscious, but it's interesting how people, when they're sad, they want to be even more sad and listen to sad songs. That's why it's very important for you to rewire your thinking process. And what I'm going to introduce you very quickly because I don't want to make a 2 hours video today. It's a CBT tool, a cognitive behavioral therapy tool. I will put some more details in the description of this video if you want to learn more. It's going to be free access, but it's basically looking at the circumstances, belief, feeling, and action. This is how every single of our thoughts are going through. It's like a funnel, and depending on your belief system, the feelings and the actions will be different. So the circumstances are things you can't control. Your ex broke up with you, it's too late, you can't change it now. Okay? You broke an arm, it's raining, it's circumstances. Now the belief system is something you can change. It's basically, what does that mean for me? He rejected me. He didn't want to get married, or she cheated on me. The belief system could be, I'm not good enough. I've done some wrong things. He's not the right person. I will never find anyone. So all those things are plastic. They can be changed. Because depending on those things, that's very important to understand, is that you will feel a different way. To give you a very simple example or image, for the same event, 2 people will react differently. The event will be the same. One will be traumatized. One will be okay. It's because how they perceive the event, the belief system, the story they're telling themselves about the event will drive their reaction, will drive their feelings. And feelings drives action. That's why some people need to be reminded that no contact is a good strategy, because you feel like, I need to speak with my ex. I need it. I feel I need it because if I speak with him or her, I will feel better. Okay, so it's very important to navigate those things. If you want to learn more, as I said, I'm going to put a free course for you to look at it. It's a methodology that I use in coaching with my clients, with also the people working with me in my team, to really help you manage the breakup in the best way. Mastering this will reduce your anxiety, because as I say, as you navigate on those belief systems, you'll understand why an event or a thought can be either positive or negative. You have the control to make it a positive one. Also help you to create momentum to take action. I think sometimes people are very, sometimes I used to be, I thought I was managing emotion well, because I was avoidant. I was just not understanding my emotion. So it's about resetting that emotional compass. If you're very anxious, it's going to be also helping you to manage this anxiety. If you're avoidant, like I used to be, it will help you to uncover those emotions. It's also so important for you to understand those things, because that's the foundation for self-growth. So you can look at videos about efficiency, time management, procrastination and stuff like that. It actually starts there. If you're able to understand how your brain works, how your thought process works, going onto a diet, sticking to a plan, avoid procrastinating, will be so much easier, because there's always an emotion behind. And the last but not least, when you do this work, you are in the best possible way, best position to have successful relationship. With your ex, that's the aim. With someone else, if it doesn't work. Second one is the no contact, obviously. But I think what I like about no contact is that it works both ways. I think it's beneficial to you because it reduces anxiety. When you're in touch with your ex, especially right at the beginning, there's always this when is he going to reply? There's always expectation. I'm trying to get him to react. I'm going to get her to react. And it's never reciprocated. And so the way you feel is as you felt rejected, and you're trying to get them to be at the same level, but they don't want this right now. And so that really, really reinforces anxiety. again, where you can focus on what you can control. Okay? When you don't have to talk to your ex, you can control everything else. The problem when you're in touch with someone, you want to control what they're going to answer. You want to control unconsciously, you have expectation. I'm going to send him something, so I expect him to say this. He's not or she's not in the right state of mind to reply with the same intensity because they want to break up. So it's very important for you to take that holiday from the breakup, from your point of view. And that will, free up time, free up head space for you to look at point number 1. It's beneficial for your ex because it's what they wanted. And at the end of the day, you want to understand your partner's need. You want them to feel respected. And it also will give you an image that's different than the one they had when they broke up with you. Do you want them to remind you of someone clingy, and my cat just went out through the cat flap, or in a mature, respectful way? You decide. You can control this, right? Accelerate the process of healing. They need to heal from the breakup. They need to heal from the relationship, and it's the same for you. You create, there's a breakup, and it's always your path will cross again, always. Again, I'm talking to the people who have a chance of getting back with their ex. If you have no chance, your path will never cross, and it's going to be like this. I think no contact is beneficial for the relationship as well. And I'm a strong believer that all couples need a breakup at some stage. When I say a breakup, is to reset some aspect of the relationship. This routine, this being a roommate, that of dynamic. You need to experience life apart. I think it's healthy because we value what we don't have. To give you an example, I love my kids to death, but sometimes they're really a pain in the ass. And so I'm very happy that when they go to their grandparents. But the day they are their grandparents, I enjoy my time either with my wife or alone, being able to wake up late, being able to do whatever I want without being annoyed or... But after a couple of days of not having them around, I start to miss them. It should be the same for relationship. I use this example because if you are a parent, you would relate totally to this. We love our kids. We love being without our kids, but then as soon as you are not with them, you miss them. Third tip, asking for help. And I will introduce another concept, really fundamental, and that will really change the way you see your life, the way you see relationship with your ex, with your friends. This is probably the most important challenge in your life. And if you're watching this, it's because you're serious about this relationship. And so, yes, it's a key moment in your life. The problem is most people underestimate the complexity of breakups. They would watch few videos online, read one book, and they say, okay, apparently I need to go no contact and my ex will get back with me and it's going to work. I have people calling me sometimes like, they've done this, they listened to other videos and read some books, and they expect to be successful like this. But they fail to recognize the importance of self-growth, and I'm going to be a bit more precise on this. Social support is the really key element in any relationship recovery. I'm not talking about necessarily me, but relying on friends and family for emotional support is extremely important. Because you want to be, you want to feel that you're cared, you want to feel that you have someone to support you. When we are rejected, we need social support, we need connection, we are craving this. The wrong way to address this is to feel like, I need my ex to provide me with this emotional support. No, your ex, that's not their role right now. So you need to find alternatives. So you lost that primary attachment figure, and that's why you are in need for attention and need for affection. So nurturing human connection is a key component in your well-being as a whole, in life in general. And if you look at studies about how people, it's quite interesting. I read a study the other day. If you want to rate the happiness in your life, your spouse is actually not the best criteria. It's not the best factor. The best one is friendship. And so they surveyed people who were married for years when they were 80s, and they said like, okay, what was the key element? And it was social support. Your spouse can make you sad, can help you to have a better life, of course, but what makes people really happy, fulfilled, is friendship and connection. It's very important for you to nurture this. And perhaps this breakup would be the opportunity for you to connect with friends you haven't talked with in a while, perhaps to build new friendship, but it is essential. Don't isolate yourself. That's a temptation that people have. I'm sad, I'm depressed, I'm going to stay in bed listening to Adele songs, and I'm going to cry because I deserve it. That's exactly what you should not be doing. It's failing, this relationship, this breakup is failing if you don't learn from it. Right? What matters is what you're going to learn from it. Not doing the work that I'm going to introduce is the best way to fail. If you want to have all your chances of you getting back with your ex, you need to put the work in. You need to be active, and you need to feel that motivation to create the conditions for you to be motivated. Okay, and it goes back to the emotion. It goes back to the social support. I don't want you to say, I didn't do everything I could and it's too late. And I've seen that, and when I hear these kind of stories, I'm really, I'm upset, I'm sad for them because they missed their chance. They missed their chance because they didn't really took the problem seriously. Or they thought there would be a shortcut. Or they thought it would be easy. And down the line, it's too late, because getting back with someone, there's also a timing element. Another thing you need to understand is you don't know what you don't know. And that's why it's so important to have people around you, not only to support you, but to also challenge the way you see things. This framework is called the Johari window. And it's basically 4 quadrants. The first one is open self, things that are known to self, known to others. The important part is the blind self, which is unknown to self, but known to others. Sometimes we have a very bad image of ourselves, and when we ask people around, they will have a different image, and a positive one, right? And that's how you can reinforce, that's what you can learn connecting with people, with a therapist, with friends, with family, if you have deep conversation with them. This breakup is an opportunity for you to, okay, let's have this chat with my mother that I never managed to have. Let's figure out things. Today is the day I take action. The other aspect is the hidden self, which are unknown to others and known to self, so it's your privacy, but you can keep it for yourself. And the unknown self is something that you can discover with a therapist. Is about how you uncover those things, those little gems that we all have and that we are not aware of. But the blind self is so important. Again, the breakup creates a feeling of being, shrinked or being reduced to a low value. Expanding yourself is what you need to do. Expanding yourself with that social support, learning more about yourself, learning more about your thought process is going to be transformative. It's going to change your life, basically. This breakup will change your life. And you can decide, you can control, as we discussed before, if it will change it for the better or for the worse. You can decide. You have the ability to decide. There are so many things you can control. Rather than spending your time trying to focus on your ex, trying to control it, no. There are things you can control right now. There are thousands of qualified therapists who could help you navigating those things if you find it difficult to deal with that. Therapy helps a lot of people because, again, as we discussed, there are so many blind spots. And I think the work of the CBT work you could have self-help book. They do work, but it's not as efficient and it's not as fast as speaking with someone. Also, something that you need also to know is accepting that you need some help is a sign of intelligence and not a weakness. If, for example, your ex, because I think it takes two to break up, if your ex denies the fact that there's also a problem with him or her, denies the fact that, he or she could be a better partner, that they need to do some work, they are not intelligent in terms of the relationship. And you want to have a relationship with someone who has who have a high relationship IQ, who's willing to say, I was wrong, who's willing to say, I want to be secure, I want to make this person happy. Okay, I want to make that person a priority, and I will do whatever it takes for me to achieve this. If you're trying to get back with someone like this, that's a good partner. If you're trying to get back with someone who denies that he needs help, it's going to be hard for you. Before I end this video, I want you to perhaps close your eyes and imagine your life, your love life, once you've sorted out all the insecurities. Because at the end of the day, what you're going through, the pain that you're feeling, the confusion, is probably because of a lot of insecurities, or maybe a few insecurities, but a lot of things that you never addressed, some dust that you swept underneath the carpet. Now's the time to act. Now's the time to face those fear, face those insecurities, and work on them. If you do that, you'll be more secure, you'll be stronger, you'll be more confident. And who knows, your ex might be attracted, might see this. And it's going to be a no-brainer for him or her to think, I want to be with that person. I was wrong. Do this work. Make this breakup useful in your life. If you have any other questions, don't hesitate to reach out. There's a link in the description, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.
For a long time, get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer.